They're going good. Roaring. Old Enterprise. Yeah, she's closed up right now and she's still getting good draw. I always start her in the front here. It's just the best way to get the draw when you start her. And load the birch bark in the bottom. Use a tiny bit of that kindling and one chunk of hardwood and she takes right off. Yeah, I think of my dad when I'm out here by myself. And that's what I do. I just kind of look at all the work he put into this. The majority of it was him. I helped, but he did the majority of her. It's an old 40-year-old camp or more. Before that, she was a 50-year-old machine shed. So about 90 years of boards here. But yeah, anyways, she's sealed up pretty good. Warming up good. Got a story about Dad I can remember. Dad was a real proficient trapper, hunter. He was proficient at guiding, and I can remember many years he did his own pelts, and he stretched them and dried them in the basement, and it was a stinky old basement back then, but there was a lot of pelts. All got sold to the Hudson Bay Company, and he was good at doing all kinds of different trapping, right from weasels right up to coons and bobcat. Yeah, he's had a lot of stuff he's spun out, and I watched him do it. I'm thinking about a story though. Dad was a pretty proficient hunter, and he got this 35 lever action. Nice gun, had the scope on it, over under, so like mounts, so you could use your iron sights if you wanted. He set up in a tree line on the edge of a field. He was on the bottom hill of the field, hunting the top of the field, and he was in the tree line. And he just got this gun. He hadn't used it too much. He's had it out and maybe fired a few shots into her. Old 35. Anyways, sitting there, and out comes this buck. Walks down, gets to about the middle of the field. He's looking up at it and digs out the old 35, and bang, he lets loose. And that deer drops just like that, boom. But then gets back up and starts walking a few steps, and Dad loaded the gun again, lever action, click, and eyed her ball with the scope right back up, and bang, he shot her again. Now that deer dropped again, and he's getting excited now, and it jumped up, and it was starting to go again, and Dad let loose with another shot, bang, and the deer dropped again. Well, my goodness, Dad was always a pretty good aim. And so this deer's on the ground now, but it's not dead. And so he's making his way to it. Up out of the chair that he had in the edge of the field in the brush, and headed towards this deer. Dad shot 3 legs off that deer. He didn't have that aimed in for the arc and the yardage that he took the shot, and a little excited, and he let loose trying to hit it and the body and do a kill shot. And no sir, all 3 legs he shot off that deer, and he ended up walking up to it, putting it out of his misery. He felt some bad about that, but I just couldn't believe all 3 shots hit the deer and took 3 legs off it. I just couldn't believe it. He's sitting in the edge of the woods on a road in a chair. He liked to lug a chair out to the edge of the woods every once in a while, an old chair, and just set it there and leave it there. That was his little sitting spot when he's hunting. And he's hunting deer again, and he's got the 300 this time. They were a nice gun, 300 Savages. Mom and Dad both had them. They were lever action, beautiful guns. And he's sitting in the edge of the woods, waiting for his buck. Well, he hears something coming right down the road. Of all things, just walking right down the road, right towards him. And it got literally 10 yards right from him. And Dad looked, and it had no bottom jaw. Somebody had let loose on that buck and took the bottom jaw right off it. And it'd been just in misery for who knows how long. And it was just a little spike horn, but Dad took it. He put her down. And I can remember that. I couldn't believe that deer still walking around, no jaw on it. Unreal. I laugh when I think about that 3-legged deer he shot.